Hi guys, welcome back to Concours Classics. I thought I'd reintroduce myself and sort of touch base on what we've been up to since we last spoke. So, welcome to the workshop, let's go. So this is something a little bit out of the ordinary for us, but we love it nonetheless. This is a 1998 Toyota Starlet Glanza V, a very sort of rare Japanese hot hatch of its day, and nicknamed the Pocket Rocket. So if you know anything about these, you absolutely love them, like all of us enthusiasts do. And this one's quite special. So I'll show you a little bit of what we've done and walk you through some of the processes. Okay, so typically what comes with Japanese imports of this era is a lot of aftermarket parts, tuning, performance mods, stuff like that. And I'll walk you through a little bit of what we've done here. So we've got the custom painted strap brace and valve cover in, I think it's a Galaxy Purple, Perfect Pearls and Pigments. That's actually one of their custom colours. Looks awesome. And we've done a lot of work to this car, and yeah, I mean, amongst painting some things, we've got a high pressure GFB fuel pressure regulator on there. We've got a Wepa manifold, TFO 35 turbo, and screamer pipe, and aftermarket coolant lines for the radiator. I've got a breather system from RW Development. Awesome work on that. Yeah, a lot of customized and aftermarket parts on this, and it's really nice to be able to do something a little bit different. And we all love cars, we all love Japanese cars, we all love performance cars, and this is really cool. So you'll see a lot more underneath of what we've done, but this is just a taster of the things we've put on this car. I'll get her up on the lift and then we can have a little look underneath and I'll show you. So she's up in the air, and I'll walk you through a little bit of what we've done on the underside of this absolutely gorgeous Japanese machine. I mean, we've where do we start? I mean, there's the suspension arms all blasted, powder coated, and then again we painted them in a matching Galaxy Purple from Purple Pearls and Pigments. So those match the valve cover and the strap brace up top, and really complete the car. So I painted them, refitted them. We've got BC BR coilovers, powder coated hubs in white as well to match the outside of the car. We've got rebuilt calipers all the way around, yellow stuff pads on the front. We've got grooved discs on the front as well. It's the full Monty. All the new fluids, oil, coolant, bled brakes, bled clutch. It's ready to go, and once this map is on it, it's going to be fantastic. So we've sprayed it in Cobra, which is a tintable undercoat. So we'd first treat it, we get all the rust off, treat it with a rust converter, epoxy prime it, and then scuff that a little bit with some 80 grit sandpaper, do the seam sealing on all the joins. So in this case, the car's painted in Ford Frozen Whites. You can spray on effectively any colour you like in this Cobra texture, which is a nice rough undercoat. For me, working on cars like this brings back the proper 90s, early 2000s feeling of your sex spec sort of big body kits and crazy sound systems and things like that that are around then, and most importantly, neons. And this has got neons, so we spent a long time wiring them in as well, but suits the car perfectly, and yeah, I think it's awesome, but some people may differ. There you go.
Hi there, so yeah, I'm Tom. I take care of a lot of the paint work and getting the shell all up to spec sort of side of this. This is quite a project that we recently got our hands on. We usually take care of more British classic cars, but we've had a recent uptick in the American cars that we've got, this being a C1 Corvette. As you can see, we've recently had it blasted. We thought it was in quite nice shape, but we got it back and we realized we've got a lot of work ahead of us. I'll take you around the car, we'll have a little look at a few of its flaws and how we're gonna approach this job really. This has had a lot of patchwork, as we found out post-blast. It was a glass blasting because the sand would have just simply cut through the shell. So it's had lots of these patches put in, as you can see, kind of down the whole car, and makes our job quite hard because we want these to be properly structurally sound repairs that we do to it. So we'll end up covering quite a lot of this area, blending it through, having it be a seamless transition so that our paint can lay real nicely onto it. We think this car has been in an accident before. As we can see on actually the other side, it seems that part of the car has been cut off and replaced with another rear end. So that's a whole thing that we're gonna have to deal with. And we are currently in the process of sourcing new parts or a rear end or a wing or whatever it may be that we're trying to amend on this particular car, which is tricky. There is a lot of availability, but finding the exact part we want is not exactly easy, and kind of seeing, is it better and more cost effective for our customers to have us repair and amend, or just simply find a new part to stick on and blend it out. So that's something that we'll have to have some conversations about in the future, but this is a huge project. I mean, it's gonna be, you know, underside, paint inside, do everything to an amazing standard. You know, the person that owns this car really loves it and they want it to be the best that it can be. So that's what we'll do, simply. If we come around the other side and have a little look at a few of these small bits which add up to a lot of work, like there's cracks here, there's a break in this sort of kind of bracket grill housing area, all sorts of just odd stuff has been used. I couldn't even tell you what this is. It's rock solid, and we're gonna have to basically bring this back to how it should be over the course of the next few months, which I'm sure you guys will enjoy to watch our pain in having this completed. Probably the scariest area on the car is actually inside of this little gap here. You see on the other side it stayed together, but this part is just completely blasted through. It was extremely thin, and that's gonna be a very hard area to replicate. So hopefully we can find a replacement part. If not, we're gonna have to get very creative. Doing a car made out of fiberglass can be quite challenging because it's not obviously it's a very strong thing, but it's not as structurally sound as having huge rails of steel going up and down a car. So when we create a jig like this, we have to make sure we support it from the doors so it simply doesn't implode on itself when we load up from each end. And as you can see, underneath here, we've had to be very careful about the way that we've made this rollover jig, putting support struts across the center, supporting the weight, nice thick pieces of steel going across it. That's a whole part of the job in itself that you probably wouldn't think of, is actually having the car safe and being able to transport between it being blasted and us working on it, turning it around to do the underside. And so there's lots of small bits which go into this sort of job. But it'll all be worth it in the end. As you can see, you know, there's more patches there. It's just not in the best shape. The more you look, the more you find. So it's going to be quite the ordeal putting this all together. So yeah, I'm excited to keep you guys up to date on what we do with this. I'm sure you'll see a lot coming out from this in the future, as it's going to take quite a while, and it's going to put, you know, a lot of man hours and a lot of hitting our heads together, trying to work out the best way to bring this back to its former glory. But it'll be a great project. It's a really niche car. You don't really see this in England much. But it's really great to get our hands on something that you don't see every day. And we're really excited for it.
So this is our R34 Skyline. It's 2000 model. It was running and driving a week ago. The three of us have been on it, stripping it down, literally taking everything out. You know, fuel lines, brake lines, all the suspension. Some of the suspension over there, which we can show you. The plan is a full restoration, same thing. So we're going to sandblast it and then attack the metalwork. And the plan is to build a replica GTR. So we got in some original rear court panels straight from Japan, which is basically I think they're about an inch wider than factory. But there's a load of other work. There's a Z-Tune kit going on it right at the end. But it's, you know, for considering the age of the car, there's quite a bit of rot on it. Because we got a factory panel, what we're going to be able to do is take out all the spot welds and literally just push on the new panel, you know, put in all the original joins. So you'll never actually be able to tell that, you know, it's a different panel other than the width. But there's some work that needs going on behind there because the bottoms are rusted out. It's just like a little pocket in here, which you'll be able to see through the boot. The water always sits in there, or battery acid, or anything like that.
Well, that concludes today's video, guys. We're looking forward to having you guys here again soon. Being able to show you some more in-depth videos on some of the projects we've got going on and really crack on. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and we'll catch you very soon. Cheers.